on, YouTube? So coming back today, I have my next top 10. So I have gotten almost done with my most hated fan base, most hated teams. I might do NHL, I'm thinking about it, but my NHL videos tend to do the worst out of all my videos because I don't have a whole lot of NHL subscribers and not a whole lot of people to talk NHL with. So might do that eventually, but for now I want to do a video that is very incorporated right now, and that's right now with March Madness. And so I wanted to do my top 10 teams most likely to win the NCAA tournament this year. And to start off, I'm actually going to do 3 dark horses. Go ahead and start with number 3. I've got the Northern Iowa Panthers. So UNI will probably end up going in as anywhere from a 10 to 12 seed. They are the Missouri Valley champions. This is a team that actually rattled off quite a few big upsets this year. Started off the year with a 71-67 upset of UNC when they were number 1 at the time. Also beat Wichita State at one point, and then also beat Iowa State at one point. So this is a team that can upset some big name teams, some good tournament teams. This is, like I said, Missouri Valley champion. So it's not like this is just some lower level, maybe mid-major school that you can really run over in the tournament. This is going to be a tough team to beat for whatever, like 4 to 7 seed plays them. And like I said, this is a team that could end up going pretty far, and I could easily see this team actually being, I don't know, maybe the Florida Gulf Coast, Butler, or whatever of this year. There's always one of those teams each year. And so number 2, I've got the California Golden Bears. This is a team that I've talked about pretty highly of all year. If you have not seen any of my Stadium Series Tour videos, when I went to go see University of Virginia, I saw them play Cal. And then actually through that tour I got to see 2 big basketball games. I saw Duke and Elon. That wasn't a huge one, but UVA and Cal was definitely a good game. And seeing Jaylen Brown in person was very cool. He looks good on TV, but he looks it really is something you have to go see in person. He's extremely athletic, one of the most athletic players in college basketball. And not to mention I like to call this, it's mainly a two-headed monster between Jaylen Brown and Ivan Rabb, but Jordan Matthews is a streaky shooter, sure, but this is a guy that is, in my opinion, one of the best shooters in the Pac-12. So this is a team that has 3 very, very good players, and this is a team that's heating up at the right point this year. There's a big game on tonight in the Pac-12 tournament. It is Oregon State versus Cal. If you are a big college basketball fan looking for a game to watch tonight, I would definitely suggest watching that one. That will probably be 2 tournament teams playing. And I could see Cal probably going in as anywhere from a 5 to 7 seed. And like I said, this is a team with some big name players that are really starting to round into form right now, right at the right time. And this is a team that I could see actually making a deep run. Like I said, they've got 3 players that are really rounding into form right now, and the entire team in general just really is. And at number 1, I got the Iowa Hawkeyes. This is a team that going into the middle of the season was considered to be one of the biggest surprises in basketball. They have cooled off since, but one big name, Jared Utoff, that has been just very, very good for them this year, and he's a guy that I could see leading them out to, I wouldn't say an extremely deep run, if I'm being honest. That's why they're a dark horse on here, but this is a team that probably is going in as a 7 or 8 seed, and if they end up in a bracket like against maybe an OU or a Villanova, a team that more commonly than not gets upset before like the Sweet 16, normally around the round of 64, round of 32, then they could be set up for a nice little run. And moving my top 10, and now keep in mind that I'm not ranking out what I think the seeds are going to be, or not my top 10 best teams in the tournament. This is the teams that I think have the top 10 grade. This is my opinion. Strictly my opinion. I didn't take from any other list. I didn't even look at any other list for this. This is just straight my opinion on it. So at number 10, I've got the West Virginia Mountaineers, a team that's most likely going to be a 2 seed in the tournament. This is a team that I believe is set up for a tournament like this for one big reason, and that's their rotation. They've gotten about a 11, 12-man rotation that plays a full-court press and is a very, very, very tough team to play. Now, obviously, with the rotation this deep, with a play that is very consistent and suffocating in this style, it's set up well for a tournament like this. And like I said, as a 2 seed, I could see them making a big run. should be able to run through a 15 with no problem, and then even after that shouldn't have a too tough game. Now, obviously, West Virginia got knocked out by Kentucky last year. I don't even remember the guy's name. I had a guy talking a lot of shit to Kentucky, and then Kentucky absolutely beat him down. So there's no Kentucky. I don't think there's going to be a Kentucky-type team in whatever bracket they're in. There's no team that dominant this year. I'd say the most dominant team at this point has been Kansas, and West Virginia has shown they can beat Kansas. So at number 9, I've got the Indiana Hoosiers, and I think there's any team that's definitely heated up at the right time, it's Indiana. Yogi Ferrell's last year in college, most likely. They got a guy down low in Thomas Bryant that's also very good. And I think this is an Indiana team that, with Tom Crean being on the hot seat at the beginning of the year, I don't think he's so much on the hot seat right now, but I think he's out. I think they're still out to prove something. And you can see that with the way they've ended the year, and I think that's going to continue into the tournament. So at number 8, I got the Villanova Wildcats, and I get it. They're going to be a 1 seed, but this is Villanova. This is a team that is always extremely successful in the regular season and can never seem to make it out of the round of 32. And yeah, they're looking at really good this year. They look like one of the favorites for the regular season winner, number 1 for a little bit, but I could see them ended up bottoming out again, but doesn't take away the fact that they're one of the best teams in this tournament, just talent-wise, and had one of the best seasons. So got to give them respect for that. And I think eventually Villanova will break through. This might be the year. Who knows? So at number 7, I got the Utah Utes, and I think big men play a lot bigger role in tournaments than a lot of people will give them credit for. And I don't know if there's a better big man in college basketball right now than Jakob Poeltl. This is a guy that's set up for a tournament like this. He's tough. He can rebound. He can take over games. He gets you those second chances that you need to be able to succeed in the NCAA tournament. Utah is most likely going in as a 3 seed, maybe a 4 seed, depending on how the Pac-12 tournament finishes out. But like I said, I think that with Poeltl alone, that's just setting up Utah extremely well to have a good run. So at number 6, I've got the Kentucky Wildcats, and this is mainly based on 2 things. It's one, I think the biggest thing is just how Skal Labissiere plays. Has definitely shown glimpses at the end of the year of the player he was supposed to be. And if he, like I said, if he heats up, especially like Jahlil Okafor did last year, some people might have forgotten that last year was 2 teams led by very, very good centers that powered their way to the final, in Frank Kaminsky and Jahlil Okafor. And if Labissiere plays to the type of player he can be, one of the best centers or power forwards, whatever position Kentucky has him playing at, and he can turn into that player he was supposed to be, he can be one of the best big men in this game and power Kentucky to maybe a Final Four appearance. At number 5, I got the Oklahoma Sooners, and to me, they got to heat up at the right time, but they've really come back down to earth since the start of the year. You know, that massive game 1 and 2 between Kansas and OU. I believe it was 109-106 in like double or triple overtime earlier this year. It was a Monday night game. It was a lot of fun to watch. And Buddy Hield's been really as good as ever all season, but guys like Jordan Woodard, Isaiah Cousins have come back down to earth for sure. Ryan Spangler has been pretty inconsistent this year. And again, yeah, they might be a 1 seed, 2 seed at the lowest, but I don't know. It's hard to see, especially with how the Big 12 has struggled in the tournament in recent years. Hard to see OU going that far, but if they heat up, this is going to be an incredibly hard team to beat. Again, it completely depends on how hot they are at the beginning of the tournament. So at number 4, I've got the Michigan State Spartans, and I believe that you genuinely need a player like Denzel Valentine to make a run deep into the tournament. I think a guy like Deontay Davis could step out of the shadows and into the spotlight in this tournament. Again, a lot of the things I was saying about Jakob Poeltl, I think Deontay Davis can do as well. Get those second chance rebounds. Again, when you have a player that's one of the best players in college basketball, like Denzel Valentine, really anything is possible. Michigan State's probably going in as a 2 seed. They're a favorite for a lot of people's Final Fours, and I could definitely see him having a good run this year, another good run under Tom Izzo. So at number 3, I've got the North Carolina Tar Heels, and I still genuinely believe this is maybe the most talented team in college basketball. Again, got one of the best players, one of the most athletic players too, in Bryce Johnson, and Kennedy Meeks is going to have to play big. Obviously, Marcus Page is going to have to be good as well. And For UNC, it's really just about closing out games. I think it'll be incredibly interesting to see how they're able to close out the year with the ACC tournament. That'll give you a lot of glimpses into really the mindset of the team right now. And again, if this is a team that can close out and they've been pretty good to finish the year, at least so far, then I think this is a team that can make a very, very good run in this tournament. Obviously having Duke win the tournament last year would be a little bit extra motivation to bring that title back to UNC, as having the most recent title in North Carolina. I don't know, maybe a little extra incentive right there. So number 2, I got the Virginia Cavaliers, and also a team a lot like Villanova that just has been extremely good over the last 5-6 years and just hasn't been able to make it out of the first 2 rounds. Virginia, the ACC tournament's still going on. They play tonight, I believe, against Georgia Tech. And again, Virginia's been one of the best teams in the regular season this year. No different than before. This is a team that's got a great big in Anthony Gill that can take over games, has very good post moves, and is an extremely good presence down low. Then obviously you got Malcolm Brogdon, again, one of the best players in college basketball. And you've got London Prentice, one of the best point guards that I think finally started to get some credit this year in college basketball as well. And I think the leadership's finally there for Virginia. I really do think this is the year that they finally step into the spotlight of maybe being the most talented team in the ACC and making it further than any other ACC team. I do have a lot of faith in Tony Bennett and what the Cavs can do in this NCAA tournament. So at number 1, it's pretty obvious at this point. I've got the Kansas Jayhawks. I believe this is an extremely deep Jayhawks team. I think this is a Jayhawks team that has a lot of players returning from last year that don't want to have an early exit like they did last year. I think Frank Mason's going to lead this team to do great things in this this tournament. And I think Perry Ellis with his last year is going to want to do some big things as well. This is the best team clearly heading into the NCAA tournament, and they're pretty much going to have, I think they're pretty much for sure a 1 seed right now. And I think it's hard to not make them the favorites. So that concludes my video. This was a fun little video to do. I will be doing my entire bracketology, showing my bracket, giving you guys my advice on picking brackets. Obviously, everyone's got their own way of doing brackets, whether you just do it off pure instinct or you just screw around and do it because you want to, or you actually sit down and have some methodology to planning it out. I'm going to post my bracketology and try to discuss it with you guys, see what you guys think. Some of the dark horses are, some of the teams you think are going to make deep runs. And like I said, I did my dark horse in this video. Let me know what you think your dark horses are for the tournament. This is something that I like talking about a lot. And yeah, if you have not seen the rest of my top 10 playlist yet, I've done some pretty good videos the last few days. I'll post the link to the entire playlist in the description below. And we'll be coming back with another one tomorrow. So that's pretty much it. So yeah, with my top 10 most hated NFL teams, and I still have college basketball, NHL, and MLB that I have not done yet. I've done the NBA, NFL, and then college football so far. So today I'm going to do the MLB, and this one's easy.